Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpada Shankaram Lokashankaram. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Satgurum Brahmavedvaram. Satgurum Brahmavedvaram. Om Partaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Graditam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshiniim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadyayiniim Amba Tvam Anusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshiniim Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutah Stunvanti Devyaistavaihi Vedai Sangapadakramopanisadaihi Gayanti Yam Samagah Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yasyantam na vidusura Suraganah Devaya Tasmai Namaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha. Hari Om. The one who sees that the final goal reached by a sannyasi and by a karma yogi who follows it up with jnana yoga. That destination is one and the same. And the one who sees that very clearly, that person is seeing it right. Ya pashyati, sah pashyati. Further, Bhagavan says, Stu mahabaho dukkhamaptum ayogatah yoga yukto munir brahma nachirenadi gacchati. This sannyasa lifestyle, it's not easy. It's not easy. It is very difficult. Especially for dukkham aptum ayogatah, for one who has not done karma yoga. On the other hand, the one who has contemplative mind, munihi, and yoga yuktaha. Yoga yuktaha means what? Karma yoga yuktaha, one who has done karma yoga. And thereby he has prepared his mind well. Such a person will gain knowledge. Atmajnanam he will gain, and thereby he will attain Brahman, he will attain moksha. So the point was very clearly made. You cannot circumvent karma yoga. You do karma yoga, then prepare your mind, take jnana yoga, gain the knowledge, be liberated. And how long will it take? He says, before long. We cannot put a time frame, but it will happen. And so what is the exact process? What happens? So here it is. Yoga yukto vishuddhatma vijitatma jitendriyah sarva bhutatma bhutatma kurvannapi na lipyate. The first stage is yoga yukta. That means he should be a karma yogi. That's where you start. Be a karma yogi first. And by following that way of life, you will become Vishuddhatma, pure-minded. Chittasya shuddhaye karma. We have heard so many times. This karma yoga purifies your mind. Then, as you continue to do that, the next stage is the karma yogi will become Vijitatma. He will become a master of his body. Body will not bother him. Okay? I'm not talking about just sicknesses, ailments, diseases, not like that. That kind of botheration I'm not talking about. And that also is there. When they come, he will not be using that as an excuse for continuing. Oh, I had a headache, so I didn't do my japa. Oh, I had a stomach ache, so I didn't do puja. You hear so many excuses. Especially children, when you force them to do things. Parents, we want to give some samskaras, and you chant this prayer. Oh, my teeth hurts. Huh? This joint here, when I recite those, it hurts right there. You can understand. It's funny when kids come up with such excuses, but we adults, grown up, also do the same thing. So then, doesn't matter. Whatever be it, this will not stop my sadhana. So you will become master of your body. This body will not, won't become slave to it. That's what it means. And then jitendriya. You will gain mastery over senses. Your eyes will not wander. Your ears will not go looking for some, filthy things to hear. Nothing like that. All right. So you will use all your senses, sense organs in the right direction. In other words, what we have seen elsewhere as Shama, Dhamma, Uparama will be there. That will be there. And as you become such a qualified seeker, kurvannapi na lipyate. Kurvan, while performing actions, na lipyate. You won't get bound. The actions have a nasty way of binding you. The actions themselves and the results of action. They bind you, they cause bondage. But one who has prepared himself in this way, he will do everything, but those actions or the results will not bind him. What is his knowledge? What is his state of realization? We will see now. We will read the next two verses together. Verses 8 and 9 we will read together. Naiva kinchit karomiti, naiva kinchit karomiti, yukto manyeta tattvavit, yukto manyeta tattvavit, pashyan shranman sprashan jagran, pashyan shranman sprashan jagran, Ashnan gachan swapan swashan. Ashnan gachan swapan shwasan. Pralapan visrujan grannan. Pralapan visrujan grannan. Unmishan nimishannapi. Unmishan nimishannapi. Indriyanindriyarteshu. Indriyanindriyarteshu. Vartanta iti dharayan. Vartanta iti dharayan. Naiva kenchit karomiti. Yukto manyeta tattvavit. Pashyan shranvan sprushan jagran. Ashnan gachan swapan shwasan. Pralapan visrujan grannan. Unmishan nimishannapi. Indriyanindriyarteshu. Vartanta iti dharayan. So, the life of this jnani, this wise person, that is being talked about here. And this way of life is the result of jnana yoga, having taken upon jnana yoga and gaining perfection in that. This would be the result. So, of course, he has gone through karma yoga and then pursued jnana yoga also. And so he has gained the knowledge. He is a jnani now. And he might have followed either of the lifestyles. He might have been a grihastha jnani, continue to live as a householder, or he could have taken to formal sannyasa. He could be a sannyasi jnani. Regardless, this will be the result of gaining that jnana. Fourth chapter also, Bhagavan talked about them. So these two verses, 8 and 9, are applicable to both types of jnani. There are no types of jnani. He's a jnani, period. But the way he got there, that may be different. And post jnanam, after gaining jnanam also, you may see a lot of differences. You may see a jnani who is very active in the society, doing so many things. He may be going around, he may be a globetrotter, teaching so many people, or he may be doing so much of social service also. So many different ways you will see. Or he could be totally withdrawn to himself, totally withdrawn from the society. We have so many examples, even in our modern times, recent times. Ramana Maharshi, Tapon Maharaj, they stayed in their ashrama. They stayed put. They didn't go around. But Tapon Maharaj, number one disciple, our Pujya Swami Gurudev, Swami Chinmayananda, he never stayed in the same city, for more than a week. always going from town to town, city to city. So, such a jnani. Others, nothing like that. They just stayed put. Not only in modern times, even Bhashyakar Shankaracharya himself is a prime example. He walked the length and breadth of India in those days. It is said he did that 4 times on foot. He didn't have the luxury of these jetliners. He did that. And that too what? In a span of, his lifespan was very short, 32 years. So you can see the dynamism, some jnanis. Not that the other jnanis are not dynamic. That dynamism is different. Physically, it's not there. That's what it is. So you can see all these differences. So what Bhagavan says is, a jnani always has the knowledge. Aham naiva kinchit karomi iti. He has the knowledge, I do nothing. What do you mean, I do nothing? He is just going everywhere, all over the world. He's doing nothing. That I is a different I, the Atma Swarupa of the nature of the self. Atma does not do anything. So that jnani is identified with Atma. He's not identifying with the body, the mind, and intellect. He's not identifying with the Anatma. Yes, Anatma is doing the work. It is interacting with other Anatmas, and that is what we call karma. He is not a party to it. As in his Atma Swarupa, he is akarta. Akarta, non-doer, he doesn't do anything. When you don't do karma, what to talk about karma pala? And to experience the results of actions. He's also not that. So he's abhokta. Atma does not do any action. It is incapable of doing action. Even when he understands that he is akarta, abhokta, the jnani allows his body, the senses, to function in the world according to their prarabdha, designation, whatever it is. He does not have any personal goals to accomplish. He doesn't have any agenda, personal agenda, it's not there. Then what will determine his actions? You say jnani is acting, but he doesn't have to do anything, gain anything. So what is determining his actions? Only the need of the society will determine the action. When there is a need, Bhagwan himself is forced to come. We already saw that. This Avatara Siddhanta we covered in the last chapter. That Brahmavid is Brahmaiva. So after gaining that Brahma Jnana, he continues to work only for the welfare of the society. Puja Gurudev said, enough of this Gita book that is sitting at the altar in the puja room. Who gains by that? And if you don't do any puja, you are on vacation for a week, you come back, that Gita book would have gathered some dust. That's all. What's the point in there? You take that book, bring it to your study, sit down there in your library or your living room, study what is in there. So he wanted to bring the Gita from the puja room to the drawing room. In India, we call the living room drawing room. And then you should sit down there and study. So that is what motivated. So He had done more than 500 Gita Jnana Yajnas. So different Mahatmas are expressing them, sharing their knowledge in different ways. So whatever he does is only for that. It comes out of love and compassion for humanity. He allows his body, mind, and intellect to do their thing. He knows that they are products of his past karmas. Prarabdha has brought them. Let them go through what it has to go through. And whatever bare minimum they require, food for the hunger when he is hungry, rest when he is tired, all that will be there. But rest of the time, he will be feeding the hungry, he will be clothing the needy, providing shelter for the homeless, build schools and colleges, hospitals for the sick, and also give knowledge for the spiritually ignorant. That's all he does. All those actions will be dharmic actions. Actions become adharmic when there is deha abhimana. Actions become bad actions only when you identify with the body, your mind, intellect. You want to feed it, feed in the sense just not eating, okay? Just meeting all the demands, all the sense organs, etc. You try to do it the best you can. When that's not possible, you take to illegal, immoral ways, all that. Then the right way of living leads to wrong way of living. That's all because of the identification with the deha. The deha is just not the physical body, the subtle body also. Mind, intellect, what have you. Ahankara. This is attachment. But a jnani has gone beyond all that. When selfishness is not there, then the identification will be with the entire world. His actions will continue. So what are the actions of a jnani? It said here, Pashyan, Shrunvan, Sprishan, Jegran, Ashnan. These five indicate the actions of five sense organs: eyes, ears, skin, nose, and tongue, respectively. Seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, tasting. The wise man does not stop any of those actions. They continue. All the jnanendriyas, they continue their function. Similarly, the organs of action, karmendriyas, will continue to do their work. Gachan, swapan, swashan, pralapan, visrujan, grannan, unmishan, nimishan api. Moving, sleeping, breathing, talking, giving up, grasping, closing and opening eyes. All actions will continue. There's no change in all that after gaining jnanam. He doesn't stay put like a stone. He doesn't do any strange things. No, I'm a jnani now. I have to use my head that much more. So I'm going to walk on my head, not on my feet. He doesn't do anything like that. Everything will be the same as before. Arjuna had asked in the second chapter, Sthita prajnasya ka bhasha, samadhistasya keshava, sthitadihi kim prabhasheta, kim asita, vrajeta kim? How does he speak? How does he sit? How does he walk? Most people have this notion that the jnani has to be something different. from everybody else. We look for some physical changes. Nothing else, at least the way he speaks. He should speak differently. We all think. Or he should have some strange behavior. And some jnanis do have. There was one jnani, he will just throw stones at people. Just sit there. Sometimes, but that doesn't make, that's not the criterion. So, but people do have some strange notions. The only difference in a jnani is that he now has jnanam. Any change is internal. Attitudinal change towards life situation. All cognitive changes are there. This change in attitude brings about change in responses also. He doesn't react to situations like you and I. Suppose he hears a shocking news. And he says, what? Then he would follow that almost immediately. So what? He clearly understands. Not that, he doesn't have feelings or anything like that, but he's able to bounce back. Very clearly understands, Indriyani indriyarteshu vartante. My body is made up of matter. The world is made up of matter. Both are products of Maya. So matter is interacting with matter. But I am Atma. I'm the consciousness. So what does it matter to me? Some people think that peace of mind you can gain only by running away from this world, insulating themselves from the world, getting away from it all. They try to close their eyes and ears, shut the world up, or they want to shut their mind. I'm going to be sitting in samadhi all the time. How long can you do that? How long? Tell me. Prarabdha will not let you do that. Just like Prarabdha wakes you from your everyday sleep, the same Prarabdha wakes you up from samadhi also. You may be very adept, Ordinary person tries hard and he cannot be in samadhi for 2 minutes, but you may be able to do 15, 30, 1 hour, 2 hours, 4 hours. You may be adept in doing that, but eventually you will get out of that. Yes, you enjoy that bliss. I want to be there all the time. No can do. So jnani allows the interaction with the knowledge that the physical indriyani, the sense organs, indriya arteshu, are dealing with sense objects. Sense organs are interacting with sense objects. They will do that. Let it be. If it is hot outside, humidity is high, you will sweat. All right, your body will react to that. Summer just started. July will come, August will come. It'll be hot and steamy and humid. You'll be sweating. And then slowly that'll get over. September comes, late September, October, November. It'll be cold, your body will shiver. All right? That will happen. Hey, you just deal with that as a matter of fact. However much you say, we won't do that. We will complain. All through the winter, we'll complain. Oh, it's so cold. When will spring come? Spring there. And that's like a flash, and then summer comes. Oh my God, it's so hard, I can't handle it. I wish. I love spring and early fall, I tell you. We can't do this. Yeah. But a jnani, he takes everything in stride. So in and through all that, what does he remember? Go back to the first line of the 8th verse. Tattvavit yuktaha manyeta. That tattvavit, that jnani, who is yuktaha, a well-integrated person. He is alert, deliberate, conscious. He remembers, aham naiva kinchit karomi. I am that higher I. I am that Atma Chaitanya. I am doing nothing. And in front of that, the lower I, this Ahankara, they identified with the body, mind. It's insignificant. In the presence of consciousness, yasya sanniti matrena, dehendriya manodiyah, swakriyarteshu vartante. In the presence of consciousness, all these deha, body, indriya, senses, manaha, mind, dhiya, intellect, swakriyarteshu vartante. They all act in the respective field. They do the respective functions. Tad atma ahamasmi. That atma I am. I am not mano buddhi ahankara chittani naham. I am not any of that. I'm not the mind, intellect, ahankara, or memory, but I am chidananda rupaha, of the nature of consciousness. Shivoham, Shivoham. Not doing anything, but in my presence, everything is happening. See, all these are not meant for talking verbalization. And it should not be spoken lightly also. The highest knowledge is meant for abiding in the knowledge. These are all meditative verses. This is Mukhya Sanyasa, Paramartha Sanyasa. It's not that easy. Bhagavan has already said, Sanyasastu Mahabaho Dukkhamaptum Ayogatah. Very difficult for the Ayogata, one who has not done yoga. So first soften your Kartrutva Bhava. That I am the doer. Make that to Karana Bhava. I am not the doer. I am just an instrument in the hands of the Lord. Karana. And then you graduate to being an Akarta. That stage, I am not the doer, is not possible without the prior steps. Preparatory Karma Yoga will take you to Karma Sannyasa, and that will take you to Paramartha Sannyasa. So these are the steps. These verses give the wonderful thought development, the beautiful sequence. Now Bhagavan reinforces the importance of Karma Yoga one more time in the next verse, verse 10. Brahmanyadhaya karmani, Brahmanyadhaya karmani, Sangam tyaktva karoti yah, Sangam tyaktva karoti yah, Lipyatena sapapena, लिप्यतेन स पापेन पद्मपत्रमिवाम्भसा पद्मपत्रमिवाम्भसा ब्रह्मण्यादाय कर्माणि सङ्गं त्यक्त्वा करोति यः लिप्यतेन स पापेन पद्मपत्रमिवाम्भसा. So what happens to this jnani that we talked about in the last two verses? He discovers his true nature, that is the Atma, in the presence of which his earlier identification with all the anatma has become very insignificant. They become small. So when you have a higher goal, when you identify with the higher, any identification with the lower, they become nothing. Not only in the spiritual field, so many examples we can give. A very poignant example is our freedom fighters who suffered during India's freedom struggle in the hands of a foreign power. Took all the punishments to their body, very insignificant. Their identification was, I am from this great land of Bharat, and somebody from outside cannot be coming and ruling over us. So that was the higher goal for them. How much of sacrifices they did to their body, to their family, put in prison. They didn't mind all that because they were working for a higher goal. Similarly, a jnani may have sickness in his body. His body may be undergoing physical pain, but he will not have any psychological pain. He will not suffer mentally. Does not identify with his body. His identification is with that Satchit Atma, Satchidananda Atma. That is the jnani's way of conquering ahankar. This requires discovering the higher I, which is extremely subtle. Okay, if there is someone who is not able to do that, I hear about these things, I read this, but I just can't do it. Somehow not able to do that. You keep harping on this Atma. What is it? Where is it? More basically, is it there? We don't blame people who ask those questions. Very relevant questions only, because this Atma is extremely subtle. If it is anything like what you can see, touch, and hear, or feel, it's not that. It's not like that. And what to do? Bhagavan says, until you discover that higher, that abstract self, may you develop devotion to the Lord. You develop devotion to your Ishta Devata, any god you like. If you are not able to depend upon the higher self, learn to depend upon God. The transition is from world dependence to God dependence. Why is somebody not able to do that? Because that person is depending on this world to make him happy. He has given reality to the objects of the world. He has given Shobhana. He says happiness is there in the objects of the world. If I get that, I will be happy. That's a mindset. So he is looking towards the world to make him happy. So what Bhagwan says here is, let's step out of that. Don't depend on the world. Have some faith in God, depend on God, develop that devotion. So, shifting from world dependence to God dependence. You can call it karma yoga or bhakti. Another common term when we talk about all this, bhakti is what you understand, but later on we will see. In the 12th chapter, when I take 12th chapter, I will tell you how that bhakti yoga is nothing but karma yoga only. So change this world dependence to God dependence. That's the first step. And then we will talk about the next step, where we will move from God dependence to self dependence. Self as in Atma. If you cannot see that right now, don't worry. So Bhagwan comes down a little bit in this verse from Jnana Yoga back to Karma Yoga again. He says, may you depend upon Saguna Brahma. Ishta Devata, it has qualities, Saguna, Sakara, fine. You hang on to that till you discover the higher self. Develop devotion to the Ishta Devata, surrender to the Lord. Not only that, Karmani Brahmani Adaya, dedicate all your actions to that Lord. Earlier, the 3rd chapter, verse 30, it was said, Mai sarvani karmani sanyasya, renouncing all actions in me. Now he says all actions desire prompted or selfless. Can be desire prompted actions also. Selfish actions for you, for your family. Fine, doesn't matter. But devote them to God. Just as a servant always does everything for the sake of the master. All his actions are for the master. Master, servant. Okay, you don't like those words? You are working for a company. That's what it is. You are working for the shareholders only. You may have an immediate boss, finally. Same idea only. You should work for the welfare of the organization. If they are selfless actions, whatever results you get, again give it to the Lord. You are doing some social service and people praise you for that. Good. But don't keep those praise. Again, dedicate that to God. They will heap praises on you, but don't let it get into your head. So, they may give you awards. Okay. Monetary awards may be there. Then give it back to the same organization or to some other organization, whatever it is. If it is a kamya karma, desire prompted action, I expect a result, I get the result. Again, take it as Ishvara Prasada. This is what is called Brahmani Sarva Karmani Adhanam. Otherwise, called as Karma Yoga. We have discussed that elaborately. The two aspects, the two bhavana, Ishvara Arpana Buddhi and Prasada Buddhi. Shankaracharya says, Viveka Chudamani, we've seen this, Chittasya Shuddhaye Karma. Of mind, then you will get Jnana Yogyata. Then you go to Vedanta Vichara. That alone can give you Jnanam. So, if that Jnanam and appreciating all that is difficult for you, nothing wrong. You need a little bit more preparation, that's all. So, in this Ishvara Arpana and Ishvara Prasada Buddhi, when you work with that attitude, anxiety about the results will go away. So Bhagavan says, Sangam Tyaktva, giving up attachment or anxiety, worries about the future outcomes, give it up. And Shankaracharya says in his commentary, Mokshe api pale Sangam Tyaktva. You don't even have anxiety whether I will get liberation or not. A lot of people say that. I hear all that, but I don't think it'll happen. You don't have that thought. You keep on doing. Worry and anxiety and all that, that's the biggest problem for all of us. Biggest benefit of Karma Yoga is that it gives relief from that, gives calmness of mind, gets rid of anxiety. Because that worrying part, I've given it to God. I already told you that. Take God as a partner. I do the work. Oh God, you worry for me. And Bhagavan says, later on we will see. I give you Yoga Kshema. We will see that verse also. So, the sign of true devotion is calmness of mind. Karma Yogi will plan for the future, but will not be anxious about the future. Bhagavan calls it Sangatyaga, giving up attachment. Therefore, Arjuna, dedicate all your actions to Bhagavan. Give up all your concerns over the future. And one who does that, well, saha papena na lipyate. He will not be affected by any papa. The actions will not generate any sin, even if there are defects in his actions. So for Karma Yogi, this Papa Bhayam will not be there. Na lipyate. He is not tainted by his actions. Therefore, his life is like Padma Patramiva Ambasa. Padma Patram, a lotus leaf. Ambasa, in the water. How a lotus leaf is there in the water? It is in the water, but it doesn't get wet. The life of a Karma Yogi is like that. He is in the Grihastha Ashrama. He is doing actions. But he is not tainted by any of that. He is in the family. He is in society. He is among people. Not disturbed by all those responsibilities. He keeps smiling. We have discussed this point earlier also when it is said, Brahmani adaya karmani sangam tyaktva karoti yaha. You offer all actions to Bhagavan. Remember the subtle point. You offer yourself to the Lord. If you are dedicated to God, all your activities, everything will be God dedicated. If you keep yourself separate, I am the Karta, I'm doing this for you, God. That's not going to work. So we say people are dedicated to their family. So time is given for the family, money is given for the family, the job that they do, that is for the family alone. Everything is for the sake of the family. If someone is not dedicated to his or Her family. If a family member asks for their attention, okay, I will give you 5 minutes. As if they are obliged. There are people who are dedicated to social causes, national cause, and they give everything for that cause only. So the statement Brahmani adaya karmani sangam tektva karoti yaha means the secret is Tavaivaham, I am yours. Bhagavan, I am yours. So anything that I call mine is yours only. This is what happens. In the beginning, we are not able to dedicate ourselves. That's why many people come to charitable organizations to start with. I will volunteer sometime, or I'll give them some money. Then slowly, identification with the organization grows stronger and stronger. Then there comes a point and say, everything is yours. And as I said, the great freedom fighters, patriots, all of them gave their lives also. All because of this dedication. There will be no hesitation. Brahmani adaya karmani means atmanam adaya, placing oneself at the feet of the Lord and saying, I am yours. Total surrender. Then sarvani karmani karoti, he goes on doing all actions. They will become God-dedicated actions. The best example is Hanumanji. He had no job for himself. It's only as though he does. But everything he does for Ramji. Not only in Ramayana, in economics also there is this principal agent theory. If I'm an agent and I'm acting on the behalf of another person, all that I do in the transaction is for the principal's benefit only. The power of attorney in common law, the fiduciary responsibility in money management, these are all parallel worldly examples. If someone acts in this manner, lipyatena sapapena padmapatram ambasa, just like the lotus leaf that remains in the water, it does not get wet. The one who has dedicated himself to the Lord, that person's action will not touch him, taint him. What a beautiful verse. This is called Karma Yoga. Again, when you read this verse, remember what you studied before. The third chapter. Yajñartat karmano nyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha tadartam karma kaunteya mukta sangas samachara mai sarvani karmani sanyasya karmanyeva adhikaraste ma paleshu kadachana ma karma palahe durbo ma te sangostu akarmani. All that must come back to you. Only when we are dedicated, we will understand properly what is said here. Otherwise, we will just be reading these words. Only if we dedicate ourselves to some greater cause, to our gurus and to Bhagavan, these words will directly speak to us. Otherwise, we will again ask, what will I gain? The true Karma Yogi will not ask. He does not have anything to gain. He just does it. There ends the matter. Puja Guruji Swami Tejomayananda shared his experience with us once. He had been with the mission for about 10 years. Somebody had invited him, and the host asked him, casually only, no bad intent. Swamiji, how long have you been with the mission? Guruji said, 10 years. In these 10 years, what did you get? What did you gain? Guruji's response sums up what we are talking about. He said, do you know what I gained? This is what I gained. Earlier, when I did anything, the first thought used to be, what will I gain? Now that thought does not come to me anymore. That is what I have gained. What? What will I gain? Such thoughts do not rise in my mind anymore. Do you understand? Good. Shankaracharya says in his commentary, Kevalam sattva suddhi matra palameva karmana syat. The result is purity only, mere purity. Kevalam sattva shuddhi. If at all you ask for anything, ask for purity of mind. So Arjuna, karma sanyasa, karma yogo vishishyate. Do karma yoga. This is further elaborated next, and we will see that in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.